I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Bunnell's election comes down to just 2 votes. The special election to fill the seat of former Commissioner John Soule could end up in a recount. Unofficial results show candidate Jan Rieger beat Daisy Henry in a vote 98-96. Elections supervisor Katie Lenhart says a provisional ballot was cast on Election Day, and a decision to accept or reject that ballot based on the voter's eligibility is due at 2 p.m. Friday by the Bunnell Canvassing Board. If the vote is accepted, a machine recount will happen at 3 p.m. Friday in what would mark the second consecutive election where votes had to be retallied. Lenhart says the closeness of the race shows that every vote counts. Bunnell's voter turnout was reportedly weak, with just over 1,800 registered voters. Only 16% turned out to cast 298 ballots. If a recount is scheduled, it'll be open to the public at the Supervisor of Elections office in Bunnell.
A plan to move homeless people from the homeless camp behind the library in Palm Coast to Russell Landing in western Flagler County has been abandoned. The county will now allow homeless to stay in their camp while cleanup crews work around them. According to interim Flagler County Administrator Jerry Cameron, the county worked out a new solution around 4 p.m. yesterday. Instead of transporting the homeless to the rural park, the encampment will be shifted to the north end of the property behind the library, while crews clear underbrush on the current site west of the building. The cleanups are expected to begin by Monday, March 15th. Recent estimates say about 40 homeless people are living in the camp behind the library in Palm Coast.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and starting in May, nonstop flights to New York City via American Airlines.
Whatever happened to the dog that bit Flagler County Commissioner Donald O'Brien at the homeless camp behind the public library in Palm Coast?
Jennifer said she owns the dog that bit O'Brien. He returned to the camp on February 16th after he and Library Director Holly Albanese visited on the 13th. Jennifer said she told O'Brien to call her name when he was nearing the camp if he were coming to visit.
And they came down. I gladly showed them my camp, everything. I showed them the puppies, everything. I spoke with them. I let them take pictures. So he knew. I told him, if you ever come down here, make sure you call me at the beginning of the trail, because my dogs are trained that if you come into their territory, they might bite you. They will bite you, because that's what they're trained to do, protect their property.
Jennifer said animal control came and took the dog and her puppies. She had recently had a litter and took them to the Humane Society. The adult dog will be spayed, and her puppies are cared for as well. They will have their shots so that they can be adopted. Jennifer said she'll have to pay a $50 fee to get the dogs back, but she said that animal control did her a favor when they took the dogs. As for Commissioner O'Brien,
I forewarned you. You have to yell at the top of the trail. If I'm there, I hear you. If I'm not there, then the dogs are in a cage. They're not loose.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
As Palm Coast enters the final stage of their search for a new city manager, Palm Coast City Council is inviting you, the public, to meet the candidates and to observe interviews for the 4 finalists. John Arking has the details.
The Meet the Candidates reception will be from 6 till 8 p.m. tonight in the community wing at Palm Coast City Hall. The 4 finalists are Bo Falgout, the City of Palm Coast Assistant City Manager, Mount Dora City Manager Robin Hayes, Donald Cooley, the City of Ashland, Oregon's Fiber Network Operations Manager, and Matthew Morton, the former City Administrator for Duval, Washington. The reception follows one-on-one interviews with the finalists this morning. The City Council as a whole will hold a special meeting starting at 9 a.m. Friday to interview the finalists together. That will be held in the Council chambers at City Hall. The City Council has also scheduled a special meeting at 9 a.m. Tuesday, March 12th, with the goal of making a selection for the city manager's position. That special meeting will be followed immediately by the regular council workshop. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
Learn how to save a life with the Palm Coast Fire Department. Tony Magoo has more.
Flagler Health Matters is a show that airs every Saturday morning at 11:30 here on WNZF. Recently, we spoke with Brittany McDermott, who is the Palm Coast Recreation Supervisor of Marketing.
We also work with the fire department, and they offer first aid and CPR training.
Not many folks actually know how to perform CPR.
It's definitely a good skill to have. You never know, especially if you're a parent, if your kid was choking or something like that, or you could come across anybody out in the public, and if you have those skills, it's great to be able to jump in and help.
They will provide workbooks for you to borrow the day of the course. However, they highly recommend you buy a course workbook. When is this course being taught, Brittany?
They're usually monthly. The one coming up is March 23rd, and that's actually held at Fire Station 25.
The class starts bright and early at 9 a.m. and Fire Station 25 is located at 1250 Belterre Parkway in Palm Coast. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.